Jacob, we
Oh, look, you made it.
this was wild, man. Welcome to we'll get into that, I'm sure. Welcome to Rated R Planet. Hey Jacob. What instrument did Dr. Rabbit play in middle school band?
Does it rhyme with limestone?
No.
Then
It's the R clarinet. R plan name.
Yeah. Nice.
I was really struggling this week to come up with a pun at like 9:10, like puh. So my power's been flickering for a little bit. Then I come up to my office and I try to hook up my monitors, and monitors aren't working. I'm like, I need to tweet out about the show. I need to send the StreamYard link to Jacob. Not doing any of that. And then so I send it to Jacob, and then like I'm hanging out doing my thing, and then Jacob's not in. I'm like, where's Jacob? Where's Jacob? And then Jacob messaged me, where's Tom? So yeah, we're discombobulated, which actually I think it ties in pretty well into our planet this week, because I think we as a community, we didn't do well with the inventions and the speed of the inventions this session. Would you agree with that assessment?
I would agree with that. I mean, here we are. I don't know what Tom's thinking. I haven't actually looked. I don't even know if he's set up a show sheet. We were talking all week about we're waiting on Limestone. We know it's coming. When is it going to be invented? Which turned into last night. Like, okay, and I can share this with you guys because I went through a whole process of here's what Limestone's going to be. I figured it out. We're gonna invent it live on stream unless someone gets it first. And then Limestone got invented. First there was the new hint that said that my figuring out the range was completely wrong. It was in the wrong range. We had to go back to scratch. Then trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, we'll just talk through Limestone some more on the show. We'll do an invention attempt. And then what time was it? Maybe 4:00 this afternoon, my time, 5:00 yours. It's what, 4.5 hours ago? Limestone gets invented. I got none. I was like the first one to see this email that said Limestone's been invented. I run to my computer, trying to get it done, trying to craft at least one. I've got the Aether. I've got all the materials pretty much, but not pre-crafted because, who's expecting time to be in it. And I got nothing. Tom, you got nothing too, right?
Yeah, nothing. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with the crafting tools. Here's my problem.
They died. They got overloaded. Both of them got overloaded. They
did, but I like new things, Jacob. I like shiny things. I like to buy new things. I just got a new, as we in the crypto world would say, I aped into a new mesh router system. Like literally, I got it yesterday. And I just wanted it because it was $20. Like, mesh router, cheap. Let's do it. Let's get some better coverage. I'm not on that Wi-Fi, so it should be the same as before. Whether that was good or bad, I don't know. So I did not get anything. So I did look at, do you remember that Alchemy website, Alchemy Prospectors or something like that? Yeah, very bare bones site, but I think it's good. It's relatively efficient. So they have a new crafting tool out, and I first go there, and then I'm reading and I'm looking like, which one do I need to click? Because there's 3 options, which is now in vogue for our planet, where it's not just you craft the thing. It's you craft the thing with your existing FTs. You craft the thing just with the Aether that you have for pre-crafting purposes. I get it. That's a nice feature. But then there's an all button. I don't know what the all means. But I start clicking buttons trying to craft this thing, and that starts failing. So then I go over to the new fancy one that looks all pretty. Shout out to Bootstrap 5, I think it's on. That's nerd speak for what the interface looks like. And that's craft.rdev, I think, is the site.
Yeah, no, it's craft.rplanet.dev.
Got it. So
the new one that failed.
Yeah,
it told me you have crafted Limestone. It said it was done before it was out, and I go to my inventory, and I'm like, where's my Limestone? And I go to my elements, and I'm like, and then the generator, I'm like, where's my Limestone? I see a whole bunch of elements here. I've clearly overbought here in earth and air and wind and fire and everything. There's no time. There's no Limestone, and I'm at a loss.
I actually had a similar situation. So I wonder if it's the tool, because I started crafting on that new one, And then my thing kept. We had the CPU issue, which I think
I got that on the old generator because at first the new craft one just wouldn't even load for me.
Yeah. So I got the CPU one just like you did, which is why I moved over as well. Like, I'll try this new one. Sure. And then I was crafting away and it was doing nothing for a while, just spinning. And then it started going. I'm like, oh, great. I'm going to get one. Then it got the end. And then I looked and I didn't. Oh, guess I missed the timing. And then I looked. There was still some available. So the thing just didn't make it. I don't understand how it didn't work, but it said it did. So then I just went through on our old school one that we used forever. And I don't our planet generator. I just on our planet.tools/generator. So when into the show sheet, probably my organization style is searching. I don't put things in folders. I have a desktop folder, which is my desktop, and then I have a desktop backup folder. That's it. That's what I do, and I search for everything else. So I autocomplete to these generators, so I have no idea whether they're like what their actual URLs are. So that's why that's happening. So yeah, I went back after the dust settled, and then went back and got my limestone because we're going to use it eventually. And I assumed we're sitting here twiddling our thumbs now. I assumed there'd be a quick chain up through cement and concrete, which you've discussed last week, I think, on stream about your hypotheses there, which we can get to as well.
Yeah, so my hypothesis was just talked about, so we can go backwards because it's all moot now. So after doing much research into what concrete is made out of and what cement is made out of, it seemed very, very clear that cement was going to be the major. I mean, everyone knew cement was going to be the major thing in concrete. But basically, concrete is just cement and water and maybe some sand mixed in there. Like, that's it. So cement, water. But at first I was thinking that wouldn't be expensive enough if we were thinking that limestone, cement, and concrete would be in each different tier of elements with the new hints that they've given us. And we knew that concrete, at this point, we had concrete knowing it was going to be a 5 to 10 million aether element. So I had to figure out the math a little bit. And what I came up with was it would be cement, sand, water.
Yeah,
of course, then so I backed into that and I was like, okay, I am 100% certain that if the developers just Googled how to make cement and use that, then cement will be limestone, clay, sand, and heat. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's already been tried. It was tried like 3 minutes after limestone was invented, and we don't have cement. It was failed. So all of that was done. It could still be, my working theory is I could still be right about concrete. Probably they're not going to do the same like 2, 1, and 1. They probably switch things up a little bit. So depending upon what cement is, I have a strong feeling that concrete, especially with the higher amount for what cement now is going to be based upon limestone being more expensive, it could be cement, sand, water that would still fit based upon, or at least it would before we got limestone, which is like what, almost 5 million? It's like 4.9, I think.
Yeah, 4.9.
Yeah. So
4.7.
Limestones would be 9.8. So nothing else could go in it. So that wouldn't work. So it could potentially be cement, water. But in order for it to be that, cement would have to be extremely cheap outside of the limestone. Because water is both 10,000, so that's 20,000. We just said that 2 limestones is about 9,800,000. So that's 9.82 million with a cap of 10 million. So that leaves about 180,000 for the rest of cement, which means that divide that by 2 because you're talking about 2 cements, 2 waters. That's 90,000 for the other 3 ingredients in cement. So if anyone wants to think about inventing cement, because I haven't had enough time, my wife was not thrilled with me that I was running back and forth trying to take care of a maybe 6 screaming baby and craft and try and get a limestone at the same time. Like, I walked her through everything that was happening. She kind of gets it a little bit and still hates it. So So like she gets it, it's important to be, but she still hates it and doesn't want it to be.
I choose to just scream about it and not really explain it, which leads to things being funnier. Like when I was crafting, I've been big into chickens for a while because there's actually utility in racing them. So I was just screaming, I got my chickens. I need to sell my chickens. And then my daughter was running over like, look at that. Can I see the chicken? Like it's a family thing, but I don't really want. She's not interested.
Exactly. But so anyway, so the point is that after that, I didn't have time to even try and invent cement. And since I was wrong about cement, I could still be right about concrete, but probably not because, I mean, I've never been right about anything here because it just doesn't make sense. But I will put in some little homework. And if there's anything else to share, I will do my best. But it's not going to be after this because I've just been too busy running around. But speaking of chickens, Tom,
well,
I was half expecting you.
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
For your little food bit, your weekly food bit. I was hoping and wondering if you'd be sitting here pounding the chicken wings.
I missed that last part. Pounding the chicken what?
Wings. Like
oh, well, two
wings?
things. I don't really love chicken wings, which is one of the weirder things about me, I think.
Probably.
I don't know. Yeah, I know I'm the weird one in that scenario. But these are actually we talked about them last time. These are actually honey cookies, which are delicious.
Oh, yeah, we did talk
and
about
so
that.
I made them with my daughter, and it was great.
Nice.
We had
With
here's a little pro
the
tip for you all. It's all in here. The pro tip is I made 2 trays of 10 each. So it's 20 cookies. There's a significant amount of cookie dough left over, but I wasn't going to do the whole thing again with the sheet trays and everything. So I just had cookie dough laying around. So the life hack is to have just extra cookie dough because that's the best part.
Okay, so back to the chicken wings though.
Yeah.
Do you not like boneless? Do you not like bone in, or you don't like either?
I'm a boneless guy. Popeye's chicken tenders, which are basically boneless wings, are just incredible. Like just get the spicy from Popeyes and have a wonderful day. So is also good. They're high up my list, which I didn't expect churches to be that good, but they were very good if you have churches around you.
All right, so you're no longer that weird because I actually happen to agree with you. I do like wings. I'll put that out there. I do like wings, but bones, they just get in the way. All meat, I much prefer boneless because it's like a waste of space. Like I have to eat around the bone, and then if I accidentally bite the bone, it's like just annoying. But growing up, we called them poppers, chicken poppers.
Yeah.
Before I ever heard the term boneless wings, because when I first heard the term boneless wings, it made no sense. It's not a wing. It's chicken breast chopped up into little pieces. Why are you calling it wings? Point.
One more tangent on this, then I want to get back to screaming about our planet, and then eventually back to Jeff's point here. Not the other day, like early pandemic, I think it was early pandemic, I had a craving for the elementary school chicken sandwich. They're just like rough, like tough chicken, barely breaded. And I used to eat them just with lettuce and yellow mustard. And I really wanted it. So I found a copycat recipe for McDonald's is chicken nuggets that was incredibly involved. And then I made that into one just big chicken patty and fried it and then ate it. And it was incredible. It was, again, going back to my wife, like you partially freeze the chicken parts and then you chop it up into food processors. So it's literally that pink slime that we talk about with the food. And that's what it was. And it was delicious. So I want to make it again, but that's before I had 2 kids. I was with 1 kid. So I don't have the time for all that mess. So let me scream about our planet, and then we'll get to Jeff's thing. I'm ready to throw logic out the window with these inventions. I feel like we've been whispering that part to ourselves of like, we've done all the logical things. Yeah, we have, and then they're gone. They're loosely tied to reality, which I believe would be considered hard sci-fi. That's what I think we're dealing with in this. I always get hard and soft sci-fi messed up. Like,
no, that's right.
Lord of the Rings is soft sci-fi.
Lord of the Rings is pure fantasy. There's 3 categories. As a nerd, as a science fiction fantasy
please
nerd,
tell me.
There's 3 categories, and sometimes they overlap, sometimes they don't. Fantasy, like pure fantasy, is like Lord of the Rings, cannot exist in real world, doesn't make any, there's no logical sense. And a lot of people say soft sci-fi is close to Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter is fantasy. Soft sci-fi is like Star Wars.
Deep Space Nine.
Where what?
Like Star Trek, Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, Star Trek, Star Wars, those are soft sci-fi because presumably if you think about it the right way, you can make a case that maybe this is possible to exist in real life. But I mean, we all know there is no galaxy far, far away where there are humans who are fighting with lightsabers with a force, or Spock or whatever. I'm not a Trekkie. I grew up watching Star Wars, never Star Trek, so Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. I was a Star Trek family growing up.
But hard sci-fi is like really thinking about pushing the upper limits of what is possible, but thinking through what's actually possible. Like, for instance, I'm actually reading a great book right now. It's by this guy, Deepak Malhotra. He's a well-known professor of negotiation from Harvard, and clearly a nerd because after writing a bunch of negotiation books, he just wrote his first sci-fi book. So I don't remember off the top of my head what it's called. If anyone's interested in it, you can DM me. Let me know that you want the title. I'll get it to you. I'm almost done with it.
The Peacemaker's Code.
Yes, that's it. Peacemaker's Code. It's a great book. But so if you suspend reality enough to say, okay, aliens are visiting Earth, right? Aliens exist. We're not actually suspending reality because Eric Belair is here. He is on Earth. This is shockingly our first shout out to Eric Belair, who gets shout outs on every stream ever. He is
Correct.
the alien on Earth. So if we take that as reality, then where do we get to? What's the story? So that's hard sci-fi, is that you can imagine a case where it's actually real. And so it'll delve into things like time travel, aliens, things like that. So Planet of the Apes depends on where that's sort of on the spectrum between hard and soft sci-fi. But so those are the difference, those are the categories. But yeah, so I'd agree with you. This is kind of like hard sci-fi, where exactly if, like you're saying, that it's hard sci-fi, with my definition, it really works in, is that if you go through all the logical, what should cement be? What should limestone be? It never works. But once you hear what it is, earth, pressure, time, it's like, yeah, I could see that, maybe, but
we all go to Wikipedia first, right? And we're like, okay, it's a bunch of devs from the Ukraine. Is it the Ukraine? I don't know. Did I do a racism? Maybe.
No,
I think it's the Ukraine or Ukraine.
The Ukraine doesn't matter.
Okay. So we just assume I shouldn't say I assume they just go easiest way. I want to have limestone because I want to have concrete because I want to have buildings. So they kind of work backwards from let's make buildings and how do we go backwards from that? So then that's how we get to limestone. Cool. Got it. So I assume we go to Wikipedia. Going to Wikipedia, time didn't seem to be a big factor, but also, as we all know, time is ever present and also never present. It's just an ethereal concept. I don't want to get into what is time, but the point is, you could say time is in anything, except for maybe energy, like stuff like that. So, for limestone to be created and to have Earth press time. At first, I was thinking, okay, Earth, I get it, but that's also, to me, that means kind of like soil.
Right. Like, why wouldn't it be stone? Like, I got a lot of people saying, well, stone isn't necessarily in limestone, but limestone is a kind of stone. It's a sedimentary rock. It says right there. Rock is a kind of stone.
Yeah. And then the pressure, I was doubting the pressure, but right here, first sentence on this page that I found.
Yeah.
I just realized the URL says it's for the kids. It's for children of explaining limestone. So maybe that's the
the trick. Right, because they're talking about, just read it off for us. Read that paragraph, and I'll tell you where the developers came up with this recipe.
Okay. Limestone is a sedimentary rock, which means it was formed from small particles of rock or stone that have been compacted by pressure. Sedimentary rock is important because it often contains fossils and gives clues about what type of rock was on the Earth long ago. Just like a tree's ring tell us a lot about its environment, layers found in sedimentary rock can tell us an important change about the environment. So
changes in the environment, time. Rock was on the Earth. It was on the Earth, but it had to be formed from something. So Earth. and compacted by pressure. That's where we get pressure. We can ignore the fact that it talks about rock and talks about stone. We can ignore the ocean-dwelling organisms that, made us all think it's got ocean or sea or wave or archipelago, or I don't even know how to pronounce that word. Isle, all of, maybe I was thinking bacteria, maybe the ocean-dwelling organisms, since we don't have anything like that, maybe it was bacteria, but no.
Lou, here's the thing. Lou, thank you for chatting, Lou. Keep it up. I'm not necessarily surprised that stone wasn't in it, but how is a form of water not there in there? Lou, the ha-ha's on you because there's water on Earth, okay? So that's why Earth is there. You're welcome. I'm happy to help you understand the thinking of the devs.
Well, you've got 4 core elements: air, earth, water, and fire. Earth and water are separate, very separate. So I'm still tilting, in case you couldn't tell.
Perfect. We're in Robot Tom world. We're gonna try this new router out in a little bit. I think I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. For a second, I was like, do I need to just take over the show?
Just gonna keep talking, then
are we?
Okay, great.
Did we lose Tom?
I love it. Jacob is. We were talking about this in the show sheet of like, what are we going to talk about before Limestone got on it? We're like, well, guess we're just going to have a quick show today. I was like, yep, guess we will.
We're going to have a quick show.
Fine for us.
Or we're going to spend 25 minutes just tilting on Limestone. But you want to talk about Jeff's comment?
Yeah, it sucks.
Okay. Well,
yeah, talk about Jeff's thing. Let me change networks real quick.
Let's hope that Tom comes back soon. So
I already changed networks. That was the problem.
All right, there we go.
What a mess.
All right, so Jeff's comment. After some people reported issues crafting after the invention of Limestone, I implemented a new way to process the crafting queue on craft.ourplanet.dev. Okay, so you're saying that there's now a brand new, that on the back end of Craft Our Planet Dev, he's now fixed the problem because he realized that his site let us all down. Is that what we're saying here?
Well, Jacob, here's the thing. I can interpret this just like you interpreted Limestone because I'm a nerd and I try to write software now in a very, very small way.
We just established we're both nerds, but different nerds. I'm a sci-fi fantasy nerd. You're a coding software nerd.
Yeah, there we go. So I believe what happened, somehow I think queues got crossed, and that would explain things because it said I was done, and it just crafted other things that were needed for other people, and it just thought I was asking for a different queue. That's my guess. The other part is, the important note here, you said fixed. They never said fixed. They just said we're going to try something different. That's all they said. They said we're going to implement a new way to process the crafting queue, and
hopefully it fixes it.
Exactly. I'm just picking that nit because it's funny and it's how they actually said it. Because who knows? Well, we'll give it a shot. Here's version 2. Maybe it's better than version 1.
Well, I'll show you what I now have ready for when cement gets invented. I've got 39 air, 58 earth, 56 water, 74 fire, 11 pressures, 1 lava, 2 energy, 1 plant, 1 stone, 1 coal, a bunch of other little ones, and 37,000 aether. So
37,000.
Enough of these core elements that I don't need more than like 40 of air or 60 earth or something to get the next one, because then I'm going to be screwed. Like majorly screwed.
Yeah, I really need to dig in and pre-craft maybe tonight. Just because I feel this has we've been saying this for a while. We were pre-complaining in the Discord, but this feels like a 3 a.m. discovery. It really does. But it's going to be a little bit higher, which helps. I'm a shark in the Discord. It helps sharks like me because I'll have enough to actually craft it. Hopefully Jeff didn't set his alarm to mine for the 25 cents that he gets from that other game. I forget what that game is called. but hopefully he's still asleep, and then we can get some in the morning.
I think what I need to do here, because remember, I'm still a Dolphin and I'm still struggling to catch up. Jeff is so far ahead. I mean, he said literally today he's got too much Aether. He doesn't know what to do with it. Jeff, you and I need to chat. DM me. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to hire you. I'm going to buy your NFTs off you when you craft for me. Okay? So when inventions come out, you need something to do with your Aether. I want Aether in order to, but I don't want to like actually spend too much USD for it. So we're going to come up with some system. I haven't figured this out yet, but we're going to come up with some system where I incentivize you to craft on my behalf when inventions come out so that you get something from your Aether, and then I get to hopefully somehow catch up, because maybe I can also get some of Jeff's luck. Jeff has had 2 mythics, uncountable epics, legendaries. Maybe he's had more than 2 mythics. One was a Bitcoin though, which was like 60 million Aether just to craft. So I mean, that one's insane.
That was an incredible hit.
Just a little bit of Jeff's luck through this, half-assed idea that I just threw out there. Maybe I can catch up.
I love this scheme. I hope it works for you. I don't think it will.
No, I don't think so either.
So Jeff said it's Metal War Game. Thank you, Jeff. I do remember you grinding, which was incredible, just because you are making so much Aether, which could eventually turn into US dollars. And you were just grinding this stuff. You truly love games, which is why you open cards and have a card shop in Wisconsin, I believe. So Metal War Game down to 12 hours now. Now we're speaking my language. I am a little bit frustrated with that, because the only reason that I didn't want to get into Metal War Game, and the only reason that I dumped Alien Worlds, was just the annoyance of I have to remind myself to click a button X number of hours away. 12 hours I can manage, because it'll be 6 a.m., 6 p.m. I can do that, whatever. But if it's in Alien Worlds, it was I would literally tell my phone, remind me to, because I was continuing this theme, I was hiding it from my wife. Like, hey, remind me to go online in 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's what I would do to myself. And that would be my Alien Worlds alarm. It just sucks.
Yeah.
So that's why I shied away from it.
Yeah, when I was playing Alien Worlds, I would like switch off between trying to do like really condensed, like every 5-10 minutes, and just like click, click, click when I was like not doing anything. And then like, even though it wasn't going to be as, whatever per hour, as much per hour, it was like, okay, if I'm going to go to sleep, I'm just going to stretch this out to like a 6-8 hour thing.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't do that. If you want to pull up I just copy and pasted from the Discord. Yeah.
There it is.
Condensed together, but this was Jeff's comment earlier today in our Discord. Things that are negative EV: family, owning a business, sleep, anything in which you aren't glued to a computer or monitor 24/7. Jeff, you are correct, and this is why I must remind all our viewers, and I always like to remind them, there's negative EV when it comes to NFTs and wax and Ethereum and making money, and then there's life EV, and we still like sleep. And
are you Ricky D? What is this?
And family. And I don't know about you, maybe owning a business. I don't currently own a business, so you can tell me if that's, positive EV for life or not. But the rest I can tell you is definitely positive EV for life, just not for making money in NFTs.
If I ever own a business, I want to, well, how about this? I want to own a business, even if I'm self-employed, just so I say, no meetings on Friday, guys. I'm a cool guy. No meetings. It's a company culture thing. No meetings on Fridays. My wife just got a new job. That's part of their deal. And it just, I just look at her jealously on Fridays, because she's like hanging out. And they get, like, say we get Monday off for 4th of July. She gets that Friday off too. Why? I don't know. They just do.
Well, that's awesome. Congrats to your wife on the new job.
Her job rules. All right. Back to the business at hand, which is fighting each other over virtual pennies. Lou has a question. How do you pre-craft? As in, should I buy a limestone? We covered a lot of pre-crafting last episode, which actually might seriously, it's not on YouTube. I'll fix that. You can look at that. I think it's actually seriously helpful. We did a pre-craft draft where we looked at what's the best things that we think were to pre-craft. I did have sand in mind, by the way, which would have gone into limestone. As
It
far
could
as
still go into cement or concrete.
correct directly, but if you're making two
Yes.
limestones, for instance, it'll be in sand timer, which goes into time.
Oh yeah, it's
So
like sand clock in time. You're right.
yeah,
Sand into
exactly.
sand clock into time. So yeah, so sand is definitely still in there.
But to answer your question directly, Lou, I would absolutely pre-craft a limestone if you have the aether to do so, and the aether to jump into concrete or cement, because I would be gobsmacked and upset if limestone was not in concrete and cement, just because it's a no-brainer. It's a slam dunk. It's an S1 Ja Morant MGLE back in Top Shot days. Slam dunk, can't go down. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, nothing goes down. Top Shot only goes up. But the second part of the question, should you buy a limestone? I would, if you mean like buying it off the secondary market, the FT. I was looking. First of all, that site sucks. I'm not going to even say its name because I don't want anyone to go there. It's awful. But
very simple.
Yes, but if you did go to that site, like I did this afternoon, I was looking for clay. I wanted to have an extra clay, and I was like, well, you know what? Instead of crafting it, let me see. Maybe it's cheaper to buy it. And I just went there, and even with Aether going up and crossing that 0.0002 mark again, I found the second cheapest was 500 wax for clay, and then the cheapest was all the way down to 200 wax. But I went and I was like, I can get like way more for if I put my 200 wax into just directly into Aether, just by clicking that swap button on Alcor, it would get me like 1 million Aether, close to it, versus the 640,000 Aether that I need to actually craft clay. So therefore it was not worth buying it. So the answer, that's a long-winded way of saying don't buy off the secondary market FTs right now. It is not going to be profitable. If you should much better to just buy Aether directly and just craft the Aether using any one of these aforementioned sites while they're working, while there are no inventions actively happening.
With that all said, the flip side of that is something that I've been extremely wax poor for a while and just been I've been refusing to sell low in our planet world, and I haven't wanted to move Aether over or ETH over just because I feel like they're separate parts of my brain. Like we've got my wax brain and I've got my NFT brain. I recently sold an FT and I'm trying to look up which one it was. And so now I'm liquid again, which is great because I sold it for like 900 wax. And so I think you should sell your FTs, especially those of you, Hamboin, if you're here, sell your limestone. I would absolutely do that right now to get some more wax.
Did you hear he has 3,500 wax staked to CPU?
I love it. I think
I've got like 400 or something, maybe. I don't know. I might need to
have 2,200. And I added more today.
I might need to add more. It's a good way. The thing that I like about staking is not only that it, obviously helps in situations like today where you need more CPU, this is the first time I've run into it. I mean, you guys have all talked about it, and I was like, I've only got like 400 or 500 staked, and I've never run into an issue, but until today. But the other thing, the reason that I have 1,000 wax staked overall to CPU and RAM is the one you buy, net CPU and net. I've got 1,000 staked because I was like, this is my investment into wax. I'm not touching this because it's staying staked. You get those little tiny staking rewards that don't mean anything. And then I can't spend it since it's not in my wallet. So therefore, that it's like when I take Ethereum out so that I don't need to, my goodness, Jeff. But at one point, Jeff had like 800,000 wax or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to yell at Jeff. So Jeff, you're just in a different stratosphere. And I think you enjoy just coming to dump on us pores, the wax pores, which I enjoy it, to be very clear. I like it. I think it's funny. But we're already a very niche show. You need like a whale Kraken show for just what you rich people are planning to do, which really what I'm describing is a scheme for you all to dump on us and how to do it without us figuring it out.
Van and Mike, No Life Mike.
Yeah.
What's his name? Yeah, those three guys.
Yeah, it's just those three. They have cocktails, I think, and they probably drink whiskey. Jeff doesn't strike me as a whiskey guy, but I I think Jeff's a tequila guy if he's a liquor guy at all. That's my
Jeff,
reason.
tell us what kind of alcohol you drink,
if any.
But Tom, you brought up not wanting to mix wax with Ethereum, which I find interesting. I want to find out a little bit more because I actually did that. So in order to get into Zed, which got me into all the Ethereum NFT stuff, I sold a land in our planet back when lands were, valuable. Sold it for a little less. I think it was maybe 7,500, maybe 7,800, something like that. Wax. Took a nice chunk of it over into Zed before they had the Genesis Zed drop, and that ended up getting me like 6-7 horses, something like that. One of which was a really good horse that I ended up, instead of racing, I sold it for 1.6 Ethereum, and that's how I got started on the on all the avatar stuff. Which then I finally got a nice big avatar win this week with my 1.49 Ethereum sale. Plus back then, 1.6 Ethereum. When I moved over, it was like 4,000. That was like at the peak when it was like $4,000 for an Ethereum. So I moved over a bunch of wax then, but I really didn't want to miss out on Green Rabbit. So I need to find out both about why you didn't want to do the whole mixing Ethereum and wax thing, and also why you skipped out on Green Rabbit, because unless it was just that reason, because I didn't want to either. But then I was like, you know what? I got to do it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the exact inverse of what I did. And so I took my wrapped Ethereum from Zed after I sold a couple of bred horses. And I unwrapped that, sent it over to KuCoin, took it from KuCoin, converted it to wax, sent it over. And that's what got me liquid. I had like 3,500 wax at that point, which I then spent on this new Green Rabbit drop and ended up with a few hundred after that. And then I recently sold for 575 wax, a pack that I bought for 300 wax on the secondary market right after the drop, before the prices kept spiking up and up and up on Green Rabbit.
Love it.
Tom, I did it. I didn't really want to. AMT was saying that it wasn't formerly known as Agent Mayhem. I think we should just call him that from now on. Formerly known as Agent Mayhem. He said it was a bad time based upon the conversion rate, but whatever. I went for it. It worked out because Green Rabbit has so far been profitable. I haven't figured out what I'm doing with it yet. If you want, we can rip some packs on stream. We'll talk about that in a minute. But tell me why you are not in on the Green Rabbit streets. Why are you a no rabbiter, and why are you anti moving Ethereum to wax? And are those two connected?
They're kind of connected only in when Green Rabbit was happening. If I had wax, I absolutely would have done it. I actually ended up helping the community, and I became a Green Rabbit mule because I was just wax poor, but I was green listed. So I helped somebody out and bought stuff for them, which I'm happy to do. And I just didn't have it. I knew it would be a profitable. I didn't know. I had a reasonable expectation that it would be a profitable flip. It has been. And I think it'll be profitable to play the game too. Sammy seems to know what they're doing. Guash is in the chat. You got it, Guash. Sammy knows what I think. Sammy knows what they're doing.
I got both Greg and Hambo in a crate.
They're just using us now.
No, Greg actually paid me for it. I told him to send me 1950 because it was fluctuating as around 1930 or so. I was like, send me 1950, and then he sent me 2,000 wax. I was like, you overpaid me by 50 wax, and he's end up being like, just keep it. So thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. 50 wax is probably $3, but that's okay.
Sean, we will get to Mintopoly. Mintopoly is a wax game on ETH.
What?
I am so in. I'll explain what I mean by that. I'm so in on Mintopoly. We will get there. I promise.
Okay, because I've never heard of this, but I want to learn more. And also Green Rabbit, I'm a little concerned that. So here's I'm in on the Green Rabbit street. So I get where you're saying that you didn't want to mix ETH and wax, and then you ended up being wax poor, so you just stayed out of it. But so I went into it, and I probably could have done more, should have done more, whatever, could have done some more flips. But basically, I'm sort of in between. So I've kept all my packs, and they're just going up and up and up in value. And I'm on the fence as to whether I want to, rip them, which Jeff is now saying is negative EV, or just sell them because the prices are just so high that it's I can make a killing just flipping this and then either playing the game as a fish with the basic common stuff that I bought the other day just to make sure I had something to stake, or what to do with it. But my concern is, from what I'm hearing of the game, it's similar to Our Planet. And you stake, you get Shelinium, which is like Aether, and then you use that to craft this anima armor. Like, we're gonna have robots, and then it's like racing, which, so I don't know why you're not in on this, because you love racing as opposed to
I do.
like fighting robots. But it seems to be pretty rigged, where I'm not quite sure how you can get ahead, because whatever rarity you're already at, it seems like the only time where you're rolling the dice to get better cards, to get rarer things, is right now with opening packs. And you're never going to win the game unless you've got the best rarity of these things. And it's just going to be a pretty straightforward that who's going to win and how they're going to win, as opposed to in Our Planet, when you're crafting NFTs, you can get ahead because you roll the dice on every time there's a new invention. If you craft it, it might be a common, but it might be a mythic, it might be something in between. So that's, if someone can explain that to me, because that's the part that I am nervous about and concerned, and that's what gives me some hesitation before I go forward and start opening packs as opposed to selling them, or even play the game with my, as of right now, with what I'm holding, like 500 Shelinium an hour, when there's already guys who are doing 40, 50,000 Shelinium an hour and have these epic flash drives and everything. And I don't know if there's any way for me to catch up the same way that I can with Our Planet.
Here's my thing on Green Rabbit. Like, it's kind of like that, the tying it all together a little bit, that the hard sci-fi, which I can get into, the soft sci-fi that I don't get into, and the fantasy that I just pretty much am anti. Like, I just really don't understand it. Like, Green Rabbit is just too far out there. It does not interest me. I'm just not going to spend my time on it, because crypto is such a, once you like, crypto is, when you're outside, here's my perception of it. You like look at it, you're like, oh, that's crypto. And then you get into crypto, and then it's a whole nother world. It's just whatever you want. It's inside crypto. So I'm in there. And so I'm going to my spot within the crypto world once I pass the portal into this nerd world. And I just, Green Rabbit, I mentioned when I would have done it as a flip, and that's what it would have been. I would try to stack some wax. What would I have done? Maybe bought some elements for Our Planet, honestly.
Yeah, I'm all about also the long term. So I'm wondering if even because I probably won't just, maybe the packs, because it's just so much. And then maybe I'll take some of those profits just to give you, I mean, I think I calculated, I put in less than 3,000 wax all in with everything I bought, secondary and primary market. I think less than 3,000 wax. And then I sold one pack for 575 wax. And that, netted me, I think it's like a 12% commission, all the commissions. So I probably netted me like 500 or so. So I got 2,500 wax. But if you take a look at selling the crates, or even just selling the bonus packs, I don't know if you're aware of how the crates work. Crate comes with a 3D character, which is like hugely important to the game. But
and you want
if
Albert.
I sold it, I could probably sell it and still get a common and still be in the profits. But it also comes with a bonus pack, which is basically the same as a standard pack, but with somewhat better odds. So like I could open the crate, keep the character, and hope to get lucky, then sell the bonus pack and just like make up for it by ripping a standard pack or two. So I could definitely make this profitable and still play. And so then it's the question of, well, where is Shelinium going to go? Should I approach it kind of how in a little bit I was approaching Our Planet with like selling off, is if it's sustainable, right? Would you rather the quick flip right now and then it's like, okay, I've got all this wax, what do I do with it? Or do I want to invest it in something that hopefully if things take off and Shelinium like Aether eventually have value, it's a recurring revenue stream, because that's what I want, is a recurring revenue stream. And that's been my goal this whole time is yes, I'm trying to catch up with everyone, Krakens, whatever, even just whales, sharks, as opposed to being a dolphin. But that's always been the goal, is I want to get to a place where I'm making enough in minerals, in Aether, and whatever it is, that long term, this is some sizable, sustainable income that I can just start to cash out every month and just, have it add to my lifestyle. So
I like your strategy more than mine, just because you're making separate bets on separate projects. I'm basically when land upgrades Our Planet, please, sir.
Tomorrow.
That's where my bets are right now, because I've chosen the other way, which is I'm making a concentrated bet on this exact game. I trust the devs. They've hit their deadlines, so we should. And I think we should briefly touch on the paper that's coming tomorrow from Our Planet, allegedly, and then I want to get to either Novo Rally and Mintopoly, or at least Mintopoly. So I sent it to Jacob, and I was like, "Hey, Jacob, something's coming tomorrow." He's like, "Yeah, man, I know. Tomorrow we're getting a paper about robots." And
Right
so
here.
let me read. Yeah, so we're getting the presentation of robots.
Yes.
That's very exciting.
Yeah,
We get the process of robot creation.
Article from the series, which will describe the conquest stage of the Our Planet. It will describe the process of the robot creation, types and tasks of the robots. Also in this article, the crew will share the latest graphics of the combat robots. So if all goes well, if we don't get underwhelmed here and we get overwhelmed by how much they share with us, we could find out exactly how these FTs work, know exactly what's valuable and what's not valuable, both with FTs and lands, what things are going to cost. That would be the best case scenario, is that then we know is that sends Aether shooting up again. That sends FTs getting crafted to the moon. That'll get, lands pumping again, minerals pumping. That's obviously best case scenario. Worst case scenario is it completely underwhelms us and everyone continues to sell and says, okay, these robots suck. But it'll probably fall somewhere in the middle.
I do believe, I believe you in my initial thought was Jacob's like catastrophizing right now. Like it's not that serious. And I reread it. I'm like, no, this is the big deal. Like, I think this is more important than UI stuff. I don't really care what the robots look like. This is not an avatar project. We're not zooming in on the art, Carlini. We're just going to look at what I want to know what the process is. I want to know what the tokenomics, if you will, of what this looks like moving forward. Adam, that's right, Adam. Thank you. Pump my bags. I have 2 kids. They're in daycare. Thank you. They do have their shit together compared to every other team. They would never have forgotten the ace of clubs in their release of NFTs. It's just not in their DNA. All right, so let's shift streams. Let's shift gears. Sean brought it up, so it wasn't me technically. Let's talk Mintopoly.
Yeah, I'm reading this now because I don't know this.
Yeah, Jacob says he's never heard of it. So I want to look back to see how I found this, because I'm rarely the kind of person that finds a project first, but it appears that I did, at least in my circle of internet and in-person friends, and we'll get to that later. But I looked at this and I started. There is a video. I could play the video.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is it worth it?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Right,
let me describe what it is. So it's an idle game. What that means is you do it in the background for the most part. There's a lot of mobile games that act this way. Really, it's like dopamine hits. That's what you're getting with this game. The way that this manifests itself is you're in crypto world and you're building mining rigs. It's where you start with like a Bitcoin miner. Then that costs X number of dollars. I'll call them here. I forget what the currency name is. It doesn't matter to me. Then you go buy the Ethereum ones. Then you go buy a centralized exchange. So you level up and up and up, and you have to buy a certain number. You don't have to. You can choose to buy as many as you want, but they give you a different amount of the currency in the game. So the deciding factor is, when do I buy these? You can also stake in the game. So that gives you a static return of X% on everything. And then you can keep buying more and more things that are more and more expensive. It feels kind of like, it doesn't feel like Our Planet in this regard. That's fine. You can keep leveling up. And the last big lever that you can pull in the game is called forking, which if we're familiar with crypto, you should know what a fork is. But what this fork does for you is it will take all your money, but it will increase your production. So if you time your fork correctly, and the amount that it's going to increase your production is a factor of how much money you have at the time of the fork. So you can time it correctly in that there are 7 day rounds. Maybe it's 6 day rounds with a day off or whatever. But every 7 days there's a new round. And the whole idea is to be in the top 250 players that generate money in that round. So it's kind of a game of skill, kind of a game of timing, a game of math, and a game of NFTs. Because they have NFTs that are called Monopoly cards here, and they're minting these collectible Monopoly cards. Mintopoly cards. Thank you, which is important. They make these Mintopoly cards that are basically modifiers that you can play. You have 12 slots to play these modifiers, and the computer or the game will automatically pick the best modifier for each slot. Jeff, I knew you would be into this game because I said math. Like, this is built for a spreadsheet junkie of I'm gonna basically model how this session should go, when I should click this button to buy which ones. So I think it's gonna go fairly deep. I've been in their Discord a decent amount. These people are like, hey, how do I get a MetaMask? Hey, how much are these going to cost? What does it mean to bid on OpenSea? What is like, these are non-crypto people who are interested in this game, which told me like, I'm interested in this game now because we're pulling in non-nerds and they're willing to buy it, get MetaMask stuff. And I sent this to a few nerd friends of mine who are, they're crypto adjacent. They stopped at Top Shot for the most part. A few of them bought Weezer. I told them not to, but they did. So it's not my fault. And I've at least gotten one to play this game, and that's where I'm really bullish because he's very into these like mobile idle games where you're not fighting things, you're not interacting for a set period of time and then watching an ad. It's just an idle decision-making game. So Guarsh is in here with a little bit of FUD, but he's kind of right. If you haven't already bought some of these from OpenSea, you're not going to make it. Yes and no. The creator and the people in the Discord, I don't think they understand NFTs. And I mean that not in a critical way, but just they didn't understand these things would be bought as fast as they would. They're like, what? Someone bought 30 of them already? I'm like, yeah, they were $50 each. And that's not real money to these people. So they're going to buy all of it.
$50 is like 0.02 Ethereum.
Exactly. I'm stretched thin right now on like my brain. So I don't know exactly what all these things do, but I knew that I wanted some. So I was in the Discord. I got in the last round of the beta. Thank you. Which is great because then I was able to get a special thing in the Discord and then also a special card. And because I was in the Discord, I got noticed that, they dropped some early, exactly 24 hours before they were going live officially, which was today at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I got some in the pre-release. I'm excited about this game because honestly, I think it's going to be fun. I did play the beta for free. I enjoyed clicking buttons. I enjoyed seeing my money go up. The interface is cool. It's 8-bitty, like 8-bit-ish here. And I think it's something worth getting into because like I mentioned, it feels waxy, but it's on Ethereum. It's a little kitschy. It's a little off kilter. It's not an Avatar project. It's not, I don't even know of another Ethereum game like this because the NFTs are not a central part. There's not gas really involved in the game of it. There's gas in buying the modifiers, which are the Mintopoly cards. So I like it. You also don't need to buy the cards to play. If you want to play, just make an account, get it done. You can, there are referral bonuses, by the way. So if you have friends that might be interested, it's just, you can type in their ETH wallet or ETH wallet when you're signing up, and that's the referral. I'm full, or else I would show more referrals from me. So yeah,
there's a maximum number of referrals.
It's up to 5. Yeah. So if you refer anybody, then you get X NFT. I forget what it's called. And if you refer 5 people, then you get what's called the pyramid NFT, which I think was great. So Guarsh is correct in saying your ETH address for the referral. I did have a couple of people DM me on the Discord asking about it, which is interesting. I'm like, just put it in the main chat, like pump your bags, buddy. But maybe they're trying to fill them before they pump them. I am excited about this card game because it's like Jeff was getting excited about with the math you say right here. It's simple on its face and you can play and have fun, but you can also really optimize it to your heart's content, which is what I'm really interested in. So Jacob, what are your thoughts on Mintopoly? Do you have questions? Are you interested at all?
Questions.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So first of all, to Greg's point, am I really not going to make it if I haven't already bought stuff off? I know you said no, but like what? Well, let me backtrack. So, can I really do okay playing for free? Can I grind my way to being successful and making money?
Here's all that I know there. I know that the main guy in the Discord, which I think there's one person, his name is Level. Period. He is very interested in making sure that there's some sort of randomness and maybe even a tiering system in how they're giving away the rewards at the end of each session. So, if you don't use any cards, then maybe you're in a separate bucket of getting rewards. But the main leaderboard, I think, will be just flat how much money you make over that time period. So I think you can be successful. And I'm speaking vaguely because I don't even remember the currency's name and the value. It will be an actual token. He's minted 2 million of the token. I know that much. That you will get as a reward after each of these rounds. Rounds start, I believe it's Wednesday, by the way. Maybe it's Thursday.
Okay, so the real game is starting on Thursday. Okay, so I'll have to watch that video. We're not going to subject everyone to it now. If you want to watch it on your own time, okay. So that answers question one. I can get started for free because there are some games where it's like, oh yeah, you can play for free, but it's really, freemium where you have to actually pay if you want to get anywhere. Is it? And then question number two is it something like, which I think you just answered, is it something like Our Planet where there's some randomness so I can get ahead even if behind? But then the other question is similar to Our Planet, or two questions, right? So similar to Our Planet, is it completely passive? Can I be basically as passive as I want it to be? And if I'm that passive, like let's say I just decided that I was done with Our Planet, I just wanted to keep everything to exchange it all once a month for wax. So I can just, like I was saying before, that I want something where I can invest in it and get some cash flow over time, whether it's in wax or I turn it into Ethereum or turn it into US dollars, doesn't matter. Is that possible for this game where I can just like set it and forget it and say it's going to keep generating for me? Or is there going to be an active piece and I need to actually be good at this game? There's skill where there's actually going to take a lot of skill in order to make money over the long term versus Our Planet where it doesn't take skill to just leave my lands alone and sell the minerals.
You can't stake. It doesn't just generate money for you. However, I do think there might be an opportunity to stake your NFTs if you buy a good modifier for somebody and you have ETH. I don't know. I'd give you a kickback if I made money with using your stuff.
Okay.
Like that.
Because Splinterlands has something like that they came out with recently. I haven't used it yet. I was in Splinterlands for a little bit and then it was too much time and active that I just stopped altogether. There was also when my computer was crapping out on me, so it was like it got too frustrating to even try and play, and I haven't started since I got back. But they have a thing where Splinterlands is like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or any of those games where you buy packs, you create decks, and the better cards you have, you're going to win, you're going to progress, you're going to get stuff. And so you can progress, you can grind it out for very cheap, and then get better cards over time. And so I like that aspect of it. I didn't like that it was a little bit too active, but they actually did implement a rental system where if I have good cards, I can rent them out to other people, similar to staking, where they get the card, they can use the card when they're playing, and I get the income that I get, so they don't have to actually buy it from me. So think about buying or renting a house, right? If I buy a house and it costs $100,000, or I rent it and it costs $1,000 a month, so whoever, it's the same math, just on a much, much smaller scale and on wax. So
Jacob, your Kansas is showing.
What?
Your Kansas is showing buying a house for $100,000.
And my house cost more than $100,000. It was just an easy example.
I know.
You can buy houses for $100,000. You don't want to live in those areas, though. So yes,
I agree. Yes,
can in Kansas City buy a house for $100,000, but you don't want to live in those areas, and you don't want to buy those houses, and sometimes it's both. Anyway, yes. So if it's like that, where I can, rent out these cards or stake them to other players, so I can like play a little bit and delve in here and there and then make some money off of it, like I'm going to try, and I'll report back to you if I actually go ahead and do this with renting my like 3 good Splinterlands cards, then I'm in. Otherwise, I'll probably give it a shot, but I can't say I'm 100%.
There's your ticket. I think you just found a deal you could make. Splinterlands for our planet. I think you could work that out.
All right. Jeff, let's talk. No, the thing was that Jeff and I and we went a little bit back and forth because I accidentally didn't use his referral code for Splinterlands, and then I just sort of aped in for a little bit and tried to figure it out, and he got tilted that I was asking all these questions in his Discord without having used his referral. And I was sort of like, come on, man, hashtag how rich. Do you really need the 5 wax you're going to get from my referral code when you're, generating 100 times that in a day in Aether on our planet? But we made up, it was an honest mistake. I obviously didn't mean to do it. There's nothing we could do afterwards. So we're chill on that. But
yeah, Jeff's doing fine.
But Jeff is also just he's a whale. He's a whale. I see him in his Discord on Splinterlands. He's a whale there too. He's talking about he's got 69 straight wins. Nice. He's got, he's in the top tier of leveling up, however it even works. I barely know it. He's a whale there, just like he's a Kraken in our planet. So I
love it.
Of course, he's got lots of cards to rent out. I don't know. I've got 2 cards that would be worth renting.
I think Jeff is a lot like the Carlini of our wax world in that he just jumps in every once in a while. Hey guys, what's up? What are you guys into? Oh yeah, I'm into that too. Cool. And then looks at stuff. So okay, good. Jeff's got to go, and we do too. His soon his Metal War game alarm is going off. So yeah, Mintopoly, message me, DM me, at me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if you're interested. On Twitter, I'm Dangy Wing. I'm Dangy Wing in the Discord. Those are the only places that I'm Dangy Wing. So feel free to message me if you want to talk about Mintopoly, our planet, anything else. Like us, subscribe to our videos. Jacob, before I officially close this out, do you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
Well, so we can wait till next week because there's a ton of time on this. We were going to talk about NFT draft, and you may just have to. You teased me in our DMs about something with NFT draft. Some of you are concerned, a little bit of a red flag.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if you want to go over that, or you want to wait till next week, or you want to just DM me and let me know what's going on there, because I don't know how long it's going to take.
No, it's very quick because I was wrong in the DMs on NFT draft. They were airdropping stuff, and it felt like they were airdropping just a shitload of stuff. They were just like packs. You want a pack? Here's a pack. Would you like a pack? I'll give you a pack. Do you like a team? Here's a pack for the favorite team that you like. I thought those were real packs, big boy packs that we paid a lot of money for. They are not. They are small promo packs. Yeah. I overreacted because I didn't read.
Yeah, the thing is, they did give away a captain pack. I didn't win it, but they gave away, I think it was 1 captain pack. And then what they've talked about, so if anyone's interested in the cross between fantasy football and NFTs, it is NFT draft. We've talked about it over the past couple of weeks. It's on Wax. Go to nftdraft.io or just go to, Atomic Hub to buy off the secondary. They closed the primary sales. You can hop in their Discord. They're doing giveaways. So the thing is that they I think, I don't know everything. I barely just started following it today because I was like, hey, wasn't ripping supposed to be happening soon where we could open packs and uncrate? And it turns out it was supposed to be. They're supposed to have an update for us on the 15th in the Discord, which is why I joined the Discord. But they said that, so it seems like they don't have it ready yet. They sold packs without having a way to actually open them. So hopefully they've actually pre-minted what's in the pack. So I have no idea how they would put things in the packs without a way to get it out. That's a Tom question.
No, I could answer that, but who cares?
Who cares? Basically, they're still trying to figure that out. So they've realized that they need to do something. So in the meantime, they're doing 100 packs, which I'm hoping are just these promo packs, 5 cards, but I'm going to try and get a bunch if I can. But they're doing 100 packs a day starting tomorrow up until they have unpacking ready, which basically says, we know we fucked up. We know we should have had this ready. We don't. So we're going to make it up to you, and we're going to proactively make it up to you with all these giveaways. There's 1,200 people in the Discord. So do the math. It's a 1 in 12 chance of getting a pack every day. Today there was the first 100 people to say their favorite team on Twitter, and I wasn't sure if it mattered what team versus the pack, if it was like a pack of your team or not. That was sort of the implication. So instead of going with my actual favorite team of the Giants, I went with my second favorite team, the Chiefs, figuring I'd rather have the Chiefs cards than the Giants cards. But it was just a regular promo 5-card pack.
Yeah. So I went in the Discord and I said I was a Niners fan. I'm more of a fantasy football fan. Thank God I don't actually have fandom anymore. Really. And then I said Joe Montana's better than Brady, and then I was just trying to be a troll and trying to get engagement. They didn't love that. So then I said, but really, my real take is Jeff Garcia is underappreciated. I think Jeff Garcia is underappreciated.
Okay.
But I do have some news from NFL Draft on dates. The latest that unpacking will be is the 28th. So that is in 10 days, next Wednesday. They're hoping to shave 1 or 2 days off. I wanted to rip a pack on stream today. If it's available on Sunday, we'll do it then. If it's not, then we'll do it the following Sunday, because I like this project. I'm going to follow it through to the end, maybe the bitter end. Who knows? The only other thing to note about these packs that Jacob is mentioning is they're error packs. So I don't think you can use them. They're just packs. They're just fun.
Some of them are error packs. They were doing error packs. They're like just giving away tons of error packs. The one that I got, I'm pretty sure it's a regular promo pack. Just regular 5 cards, random 5 cards, probably a very, very low chance of getting anything but a common. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be just usable.
Oh, you're right. You're right again. You're right again. Jeff, reading's overrated. They're giving away 100 packs that are real and 500 error packs. I don't know why you're giving away 500 error packs as well as next to real packs, because I see 2 numbers and I see error.
Why did Topps give out a spinning token, a wooden coin that spun? It didn't do anything.
I made money on that, so I'm happy. I made
like 20 wax, so like whatever.
Yeah, I like printing wax. It's fun.
Yeah, so I think that the error packs are the same thing. It's a way to shill them to people who will buy them for the same reason that people buy stupid avatars.
Yeah. Fair point. Fair point. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, rate, review, at Dangy Wing, at the JT Cohen. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate all the comments. This was a lot of fun, especially with some engagement in the comments, because really, no joke, Jacob and I, we turned this on and we're like, all right, let's talk about stuff. And you all helped us carry the show. So we appreciate it.
Thank you all. And
have a great,
tell your friends to join us next time.
Yeah. Mintopoly, buy my bags.